Hi HLP teachers, this is Tektosa Rob, and today we're going to go into Microsoft OneNote. Hi HLP teachers, this is Tektosa Rob, and today we're going to talk about Microsoft Notebook. Hi HLP teachers, this is Tektosa Rob, and today we're going to talk about Microsoft Class Notebook. So Class Notebook is a management system that reminds me of a three-ring binder where you as a teacher can set up the student's binder, and instead of passing out papers and have the students hole punch the papers and put it in their three-ring binder, so instead of handing out papers to the students, having them, three-hole punch their papers, and then put it in their binder, and have to organize tabs and all that kind of stuff, you create that virtually for them, and then you can instantly insert pages into their three-ring binder, as well as check their work in their binder as well. So let's kind of go over how you get started with that. When you sign into your Office 365, you'll have the option of the main apps here, and one of them, as you can see here, is Class Notebook. So go ahead and select Class Notebook, and go ahead and create your class. So first you're going to name your class. So for example, I'm going to call it Mr. Y's third period. Oh, can't use the, what can't I use here? Can't use apostrophes, huh? Okay. Or periods. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to name my class notebook Mr. Y. Okay, so I'm going to name my class notebook Yamasaki period 5. And then it kind of shows you, the areas that you're going to have inside your class notebook. So they're going to have, by default, a collaboration space, a content library, and then whatever students' notebooks that you put in there. The collaboration space is where you can create sections for students to work collaboratively in groups on the same page. So kind of like Microsoft, kind of like Google Docs, where all the students can work on the same page at the same time. You can set up those spaces in the collaboration space. In your content library, this will be read-only material, where students may be able to just get handouts or other materials that you want them to copy for themselves. And then you'll see each student's name with their own notebook, and you will actually make the tabs for them for their notebook. Okay, so here you have to enter in your students' names. Once it's connected with Aries, then you can create this notebook through Microsoft Teams, and it will already have all your students there ready for you. But for right now, we'll enter it in manually. So I'm going to enter in a student. Sorry. Okay, so step number 3 now is to add another teacher. So if I co-teach with somebody, I would put their name in here, and they would also have access to this class notebook. So I'm going to give this access to Ricardo. And it should find him. I select him, and next. Okay, and then you have your students' names. And for right now, your students have to be entered in one by one, but if your school is linked with Aries and Microsoft, then you should be able to create a Teams, and within Teams, you can create a class notebook, and then all your students will be pulled in from Aries. But for right now, we're going to add the students in one by one, so I'm going to enter in Mary. And she will be my student. And now we have the design, the tabs for your notebook. So it comes already stocked with handouts that you might want them to have class notes, homework, quizzes. You can add in another section, maybe labs or tests, and all these will show in every student's notebook. Okay, so let's preview what your class notebook will look like. You have your welcome section. You can put welcome notices, your syllabus, things like that. You're going to have your collaboration space for the students to work in. You're going to have your content library, again, read-only material that students might want to copy, and then you're going to see all of your students underneath that. And then go ahead and create your notebook. And this might take a few minutes. Okay, so now I am done creating my class. I think I already have the class notebook add-in, so I don't need that. I want to go back to my apps, and all you have to do really is create your class notebook, but your class notebook will be managed in OneNote. So I'm going to select OneNote. Okay, and now that I'm in OneNote, it shows me some of my recent, OneNotes that I've been using. But if I go over to Class Notebooks, where I just created my class notebook, then you'll see here Yamasaki Period 5, which is what we just created. Let's go ahead and select that, go inside, see how it looks. Okay, and now that I'm inside, we see exactly what we saw in the preview. We see our welcome, and you can change this if needed. Frequently asked questions. Other options there. You can delete these pages if you want. Right click, delete the page. Yes, delete that permanently, and it's gone. So you can add in your own stuff. Your collaboration space would be a good place to set up places for your students to work. So for example, collaboration space, I might rename this section Group 1. And you can add another section in. So I'm going to select collaboration space, and I'm going to add a section, and I'm going to call this Group 2. And you can add in as many groups as you want, and then underneath these, I can delete this page. And then maybe for Group 1, you want their first collaborative area to be called Lab 1, and now all the students that are in Group 1 would then go to Group 1, and they can all work on this page at the same time. Group 2, anyone that you assign to Group 2 could go into their page. Title it, and all those students would work on the same thing. You can view the collaboration spaces, so if you want to check on their work, you would just open up your page, go to the group tab, and you'll see all the work that they've done right here. If you go to your students individually and click the little arrow there, then you'll see all the different tabs that they have, and you have access to every student's notebook, every tab, every page in their notebook. So if I click on test, you would see all their tests load up. You could see their homework. You would see all their homework load up, handouts, quizzes. You have access to everything. And then lastly, the content library again is read-only files. So maybe you put some templates in there that they use frequently, and they can copy that and put it in their notebook. Other things that you want the students just to only be able to copy or read, not to edit. Those things would go in your content library. Okay, so that's it for setting up your class notebook. If you have any other questions, please contact any of your tech TOSAs. We're always available to help.